When she was 8 years old, she stopped speaking. For the next 5 years, she did not say a single word out loud. The world that finally heard her became one of the most powerful voices in American history. She was born in Street Louis in 1928. Her parents divorced when she was 3, and she was put on a train alone with her older brother and shipped to her grandmother in Stamps, Arkansas, a small black town in the segregated American South. Her brother could not pronounce her name, Marguerite, so he called her Mai, then Maya. The name stuck. When she was 8, her mother brought her back to Street Louis for a year. During that year, a man her mother knew hurt her terribly. She told her brother. He told the police. The man was tried, sentenced to 1 day in jail, and then released. 4 days after his release, he was found dead. The 8-year-old girl became convinced of one thing: her words had killed a man, so she stopped using them. For the next 5 years, she did not speak. Not in school, not at home, not even to her brother. She would later call herself a voluntary mute. But during those 5 years of silence, she did one thing. She read. She read every book she could find in the small black library in Stamps. Shakespeare, Dickens, Poe. Edgar Allan Poe became, in her own words, her first white love. A neighbor named Mrs. Bertha Flowers noticed the silent girl. Mrs. Flowers invited her over for tea and cookies, and read aloud from A Tale of Two Cities, in a voice the girl later said was mellifluous. After 6 months of these visits, Mrs. Flowers told her something that changed her life. You will never love poetry until you can feel it come across your tongue, through your teeth, and over your lips. A few weeks later, the girl spoke for the first time in 5 years. She read a poem out loud. 40 years later, she published a memoir of those silent years and called it, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It became the first nonfiction bestseller in American history, written by a black woman. She went on to write 7 autobiographies, 3 Grammy-winning spoken word albums, and over 30 honorary doctorates. In 1993, President Clinton invited her to read a poem at his inauguration, the first poet to do so since Robert Frost in 1961. She later said it. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. The girl who once believed her voice could kill became the woman whose voice the whole world chose to hear. Follow for more untold stories.